Oh, yes. Yes. We are back to a vintage tub. And I love my vintage just as much as you guys. So, right off the bat, we have Insect Man, the knockoff series of Sectaurs. Sectaurs didn't fare so well in the end, did you guys know? It was canceled after the first series of action figures. I mean, there was no cartoon or anything, so it really didn't help bolster the sales. But this company was like, hell yeah. They were successful. We got to make our own. Insect Man. I'm just loving the artwork. I love the sillier, the stupider, the most amazing to me the artwork is. So this guy is just standing there chilling, watching this tree regurgitate lava. He looks pretty happy, actually, if you look at that. He's like, hell yeah. This is an arousal face more than anything else. Wow, it's just like... The artist they hired, the guy must have had like 24 hours to do this, and he submits it, and the company that produced this is like, that is amazing. Oh my God, we're going to sell so many of these. Yeah, good luck with that. Pretty happy up there. I like the little extra beard they added onto that guy to help, make him look a little different. And of course, blank back, the true sign of a powerful knockoff. I do want to keep one of these. I may have extras of these. I don't think the market's there. This is like a late 80s, early 90s style bootleg, as we mentioned earlier. So I'd probably guess 35, 40. No one's excited for this unless it was He-Man base styled 5-inch figure versus this 6-inch solid, barely posable figure. But nonetheless, it's a keeper, so that's all good. We have my Ivan Ooze. The Ooze has seen better days. So, well, Ivan did lose in the end. I still love the fact that the actor who played Ivan Ooze was also in Indiana Jones. That's right. I did sit down and actually talk with him for a bit at the Morphicon show, which, again, highly recommend you visit there. I don't know how it is now, but it was just the perfect way to meet your stars that you fell in love with all the Power Rangers series. At that show, unlike, let's say, a Comic-Con, you could sit down with them on a dull moment of the show and just chat with them. Like, you can't do that. You have a time frame of a couple seconds while they're autographing at other conventions. So at the end of the day, he was just chilling there, and I was just like, sat down. We had a good talk for 10 minutes. I mean, that's what's more memorable to me, to have that conversation, than anything else. And if you do get an autograph, that memory of that conversation, that time you had with that actor, it really just makes it solidified. Like that autograph versus just he autographed it. Nonetheless, Ivan Ooze stuff, I mean, I like these things, but I can't keep every novelty Power Ranger item. But for Dino Riders and Battle Beasts and a little bit of Transformers, I love the novelty stuff. Collected hardcore. Power Rangers, if I wanted to sit down and get every novelty item, this house would be filled 3 times over. So I'm going to let this puppy go. Sorry, just caught me off guard there. It's just the Knuckle Extruder. God, what a name. I mean, Knuckle Extruder. Like, you put a guy in a chair in an empty room, tie him down, and you can say a lot of things to just freak that person out to get him to talk. But if you say, like, bring in the Knuckle Extruder, that has me more nervous than a car battery. Jeez. For sale, probably worth like $10. We did cover this earlier. I do have a Well of Souls already from a previous video. This seems to be another one that survived. So, I probably pulled one, put in the collection, and then like a couple months later, I forgot that I pulled one. This happens quite often in the past. And they'd be like, well, I better put this one away too. So here we are, an extra one, about $80 to $100. Great. This is why we're going through this stuff. Oh, thank God I put away. Oh, wait, whoop. Take it all back. I'm going to just rant heavily in the most negative way on Power of the Force 2. But look what we have pulled. So first, this is a Billy D. Williams autograph. Wow, Red Mercury. So, if you guys didn't know, as I mentioned earlier, in Japan, Star Wars Spawn, Night Before Christmas, all that was hugely popular. They're importing all of our toys to Japan, and they love them. And later on, they started making their own toys, and then these toys died out. So Power of the Force 2 is just raw garbage now in Japan. A company called Red Mercury and a couple other ones would bring in actors for conventions, apply their own stickers, and there were a variety of different cards that they would do, custom stickers, not just here, but on the bubble. I mean, we're talking a huge variety of these. And here it is, signed by Billy D. Williams himself in 2/23/2001 at this convention in Japan. Red Mercury exclusive. These are the things I'd pick up in Japan when I can. The problem was, at times I get this for like $10 because they didn't care. Or other times the guy was selling it and he was like, look, it's really rare. And he wanted $100. So I grabbed these whenever I could, but I couldn't get super passionate about it because they just weren't cheap enough. And we're talking probably 50 plus different variety of autograph cards, just the variant stickers on them. I mean, it just goes on and on. I'd like to get more into this, but another time. But this is a great sample. I'm going to keep this piece because it's just so unusual. I don't think I'll ever get it again. We have Cobra Emperor Serpentor. I'll be honest with you. The original Serpentor from 86 Hasbro, that thing is a killer piece. This, I don't know. Something clearly went wrong here. It just doesn't have that feel to it. Maybe it's the dullness of the gold there, how he looks without his outfit being more normal. Just like the lack of detail. I'm just being an ass. I know. But in general, 25th anniversary Joes, I'm just letting them all go. I just can't keep the world on these things. So that's fine. I don't know what the market is on this stuff. I knew it went up and then went back down and then went back up again. So I'm going to guess it's probably hopefully worth more than $12. I don't know why. But yeah, it can go on to another home and be loved by someone. We all want to be loved by someone. So speaking of that, here is a Cobra Hiss in the blue, which is really cool that they did that. A lot of companies are inept, in my opinion, when they make reissues. I'm having a big argument with someone right now about the new Sectaurs toys, and they're producing unproduced pieces, more posable, but they're still the unproduced piece. I mean, we just go on and rant on and on and on. How do you affect the original vintage market? How do you support the vintage market? This is how you support it. Don't do 100% reissues. Now, his tank clearly was reissued a bajillion times, so you can't really stop that. But the fact they sat down and said, let's do a blue one, that's absolutely what you should do. The issue is, let's just say logically, if you do a absolute authentic 1984 his tank reissue, who really is going to buy that? Now, there will be collectors that will buy it, but let's say half the collectors who collect the newer Joes already have the vintage one. Why would they buy the new one? It's just a reissue of the original one. Now, if you put it blue, now everybody wants it, and your sales will be much better. Simple logic. Again, 25th anniversary, no idea the value on this. I don't think they did the blue later on. I'd rather just have the blue tank by itself for my 3 3/4 inch line. But we're going to let that go. I'm probably going to assume about $45.50. Digimon Monster. So this is a later Digimon. This is 2006. So you're already past the 4 seasons of Digimon. This is kind of like the very tail end of a 5th that they did a little bit after those 4 have ended. I got these from a friend in Japan. He was very nice to pick up a couple of these for me. I like my Digimon. I think they're fun to play with, but I personally have no passion for the line. It was just a thing you would watch on TV, and I didn't like scream in excitement for it. I can let this go if a loose one ever showed up. I have no idea the value of these things. I hope it's not broken in there. But yeah, I can let this go. If it was probably dead stock seal, we're probably looking at probably $35-40. I have no idea. And to wrap it up, Voltron, Defenders of the Toilet. Let me flip that around. We got a Doom Blaster. Also a previous nickname in high school. It is not sealed, but it has all the inserts. Look at that. Took care of me on that with those discs. Those are tough to get. Even all those 80s part slots I've been buying for years and years, I don't get those discs. Great piece, absolutely for the collection. I might have another one in lesser condition, but this will be the best one I have right now. And at this point, I mean, the value on these is probably like 100 a quarter. They've gone up. You just don't find this stuff anymore. But that's a keeper. I do want to say Panache Place, which I always mess up and call it Panache Palace. They came out of nowhere, man. They came out of nowhere with that Voltron license, and they made a killer toy line. It's basic. It's simple. 3 3/4 inch figures. Just worked. Absolutely. The package design, they knew what they were doing. And I wish the series lasted longer. There are unproduced series figures. Merla, Voltron, Dairugger 15 pilots, Sven. I have a couple of those in wax sculpt form, but I was so excited about these when I found out they were issued in Argentina, and on the back of the card shows those characters. And I thought they were made in Argentina, the unproduced series. And I spent more than a decade contacting people in Argentina, talking to them, saying, hey, do you have it? Do you have it? Do you have it? Do you have it? And of course, the answer was no, because they never were produced in Argentina. They just show them on the back of the cards, which caused just more chaos in this world than we need. And that's why I got really fascinated with Voltron. And then finally, I had the opportunity, and I got, well, we'll get into that story in our time, but I did pick up quite a number of the wax sculpts of the unproduced series, some hard copies, and some silicone molds from the studio that worked on them. But yeah, keeper.